Hey, what's happening, y'all? So it is August 24th, 2022. It is time for the monthly Audio Mutt update. This month, first Friday of the month, we had the video on my wife's Telecaster come out. That would be, grab Tex over here. This guy. Yeah, she did a good job on that. So if you haven't already, go and check that video out. I walked through the entire process for the most part and talk about the guitar and the whole building thing. She built that from a kit from StuMac, so that's super cool. And then third Friday of the month, we had the music video for my original song Sometimes come out, and we didn't have a podcast episode drop in August because I've been getting used to life as a dad, which I can hear the kiddo has hiccups. So towards the end of July, Patrick was delivered safely. We were discharged from the hospital regular time. Of course, delivery was harrowing. He's a Jones kid, so nothing could just go according to plan. But we were home for a few days, took him to his first pediatrician appointment, and bilirubin was super high. He was starting to look really jaundiced, and we had to rush him to the emergency room and spent a couple days in the NICU, which was super scary. Kind of feel like I'm getting a bit of a crash course in this whole being a dad thing. It's been a thing, but we're getting through it, and we're starting to figure out some semblance of a schedule for this part of the process, and figuring out how we can work some stuff like content creation back in. So that's where we're at there. Next month, first Friday of the month, my goal is to have the Pro Tools v Reaper video out at that point. So the whole thing's filmed, my commentary's filmed, I've edited my commentary together, and it is a long one because I'm going point by point through different things I was looking at. So now I just have to go through the footage of me actually doing the stuff and cut in that B-roll over my commentary. So we're getting there. Third Friday of the month is the music video for my cover of Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. So that's coming out. That'll be super cool. And that's about what we got going on. Because this month has been so focused on baby. It's kind of, the Audio Mutt stuff has kind of been pretty chill and focused mainly on content that I already had produced and ready to rock and roll. So we're getting there. We're getting back on it. Darby and I are talking about different subject matters for the next podcast episode. We've got some ideas about, like I'd already pitched to you, the sales thing, how to, just some sales tips. Another one was talking about collectible guitars and the market for that in the future after watching that video on Rhett Shell's channel. There's another idea I had about, I keep seeing stuff about how record labels are failing musicians, and I think that's an important topic, but I'm interested more, instead of a gripe session about how record labels suck, like what are some good options moving forward? What can we do? What's the next evolution of serving those needs that musicians still have? Another one talking about acoustics for the home, specifically home theaters, things like that. I feel like there's a bit of a gap between where, like, normal everyday people and audiophiles sometimes, I think, feel like acoustics are relegated to auditoriums and theaters and recording studios, and not thinking about how it can help their listening experience. So I want to have a conversation with Darby, and maybe if I can get in touch with someone who specializes in acoustics. If you know anybody, drop a name, and see if we can have that conversation about how do we get this to more just average people, to know, because I've seen people who have money dropping $1,000, $2,000 on a hi-fi stereo system, but putting it in a room that completely sucks, and they would have gotten so much more by just spending a few $100s on decent acoustic treatment. So, and Darby, like, I want y'all to hear his perspective on that, because when he came into my room for the first time, after he's an audiophile and listens to, he's got a hi-fi system that he cobbled together, but he said that's a completely different experience sitting in a treated room with just a stereo system, and that he was hearing things that he had never heard before in songs he was very familiar with. So I'd like to get some of his perspective on that on film, because it was really cool. So those are some different things that we're kicking around. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, appreciate you guys. You're awesome. And have a good one.